Bienvenue, ekabo, you are welcome. How do you say welcome in your language? To Fregz at home, where life is good with LG and where I'm very intentional about making you, yes you, a better cook. Now before I get into my recipe and the business for today, before I get into the business of this episode, I just need to ask you one question. Have you subscribed? This is the subscribe button, click it. That is the like button, and this is the bell button. Yes, keep using your mouse very well. Yeah, click. Congratulations, you've done the best thing ever you can do today. So this episode, I'm going to be teaching y'all how to make a very rich. Now, look, this Okro Soup is having master's degree. It's on a PhD level. It has private house and parking space in Banana Island. It travels first class. It's a royalty stuff. Do you understand me? It's a royalty Okro soup. This is my Prada pounded yam and my Lamborghini okra. Some commotion for the dish. All right. So, small story time before I go, or as I cook rather. So in my pot, I'm gonna turn this up. And for my Prada pounded yam, it won't be Prada pounded yam if we don't have yam. So I'm going to turn up the heat, and actually, right here, I have some yam that I've just cut up. Now, it has to be you cannot make Prada designer pounded yam with any type of yam. It has to be good white yam that has a very firm touch so that when you pound it, it's stretchy and the gluten is really intact, okay? So that's going to be boiling as we are cooking our okra. So we have some palm oil that we're just going to almost like bleach, but we're just going to get it pretty hot. I'm putting about a 3/4 cup in here, and in this smaller pan I'm just going to put about a tablespoon to make some lobster stock. All right, now it won't be Lamborghini okra if you're not going to make it luxurious. We have some king prawns, we have some lobster, I have some ungolo, I have some periwinkles. So it's a rich anti, stuffs. So I'm going to turn on the heat on there as well. What I really love about this LG cooker, can you see I'm cooking like 3 things? The pots are not jamming each other. Everything is separated and looking sweet. So while that's happening and while that's heating up, I'm going to grab our fish. Now I'm using really nice red snapper. I have some king giant prawns here, really large prawns. And I have some lobster. Now I'm going to season quite generously with salt. All right, I'm seasoning with salt. Okay, I have some all-purpose adobo seasoning. You guys should be used to that by now. Okay, just get that in there. Actually gonna. Okay, that palm oil is smoking, and we are going to get to it shortly. So for this pot, so we're going to mix this up with a spoon actually, or a spatula. We're going to quickly mix this up with a spatula. Okay, that is mixed up. I have the lobster tails and just the shells from the lobster. I have some onion. I have a whole head of garlic. And I'm going to just go with a fresh thyme stick and half of a stem of rosemary. Don't mind that is smoking. I'm going to turn it off to allow it to calm down. So we just want to roast these vegetables a bit. Again, I've turned this off. Don't mind that it's smoking. I need you to kind of change color slightly. If you leave in a flat or something, please, you can cover your pot as you do this and allow the smoke settle. All right, so while that's roasting, in the okra pan, we're going to go in with our onions. So this has roasted quite a bit. I'm going to add some water just to cover. I'm not even going to add any salt. Well, maybe just a pinch of salt. So just going to allow this boil now. Just come to a boil, what, 10 minutes, so that we extract the flavor. It's seafood, so we don't need that long. So your tatashe, you really want to cook it out for this recipe. You want to really cook it out till it's lost all its water and you can hear it really splattering. It's almost there. Same thing with the onions, but you always want to make sure that you're stirring from time to time so that nothing is burning. Now, the reason I'm making a lobster stock is because the best way to really get seafood flavor into a seafood okra is through the stock and the shells. If you do just the prawns, it'll be seafood, but it won't really have the punch. Now, some of you may crucify me, why did I put onions? Why am I putting garlic? It makes everything delicious. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that. But I'm not gonna put the garlic now. I have some yellow chilies. As you guys can tell, they're like my favorites. I also need this to cook out, so I'm gonna put this now. It brings a very fragrant flavor and spice. So the yam is boiling, doing its thing. I didn't add any salt, nothing. Whenever you want to make pounded yam, just always ask who you're buying the yam for. I want to make for pounded yam. And they should be able to tell you the good stuff. All right, we are there. Oil is nice and bubbly. I can smell the concentration of the tatashe, so we can get into the next steps. Now I have crayfish. I have about 3.5 heaped tablespoons. Don't be afraid to use crayfish when you're cooking okra, it's the secret. I have some fish powder, about 2 tablespoons, eating spoons heaped. I have my adobo all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to go in with about almost a tablespoon. Almost. I have some dried chilies. It's another depth of chili that I want. So put that much in. Pinch of salt. Going to go in with just a tiny touch of garlic, just a tiny. I have some cowhide, kanda, or more here. Let us start getting used to everybody. I'm going to lower the heat. Then I have some iru. So what I do with iru at home, I buy from the markets, I wash it down, and I make a big batch of puree. So I put it in a blender, blend everything, and I have it in this form so that I don't have to see it in my food. But if you like to see it in your food, you go ahead. So that's about 2 tablespoons as well, full. Well, eating spoons. You can put as much or as little as you like. So you can see that the tatashe is really dried up and concentrated. And I've turned down the heat. I'm going to add my fish now. So I'm also going to go with another 1.5 tablespoons of stock fish powder. These are ways to build flavor without seeing all these things in your food. But if you want to put the stock fish, sure, be my guest, but I think it's a faster way to introduce flavor. I'm going to toss in the prawns. My prawns have been deveined. Please always make sure you devein your prawns. I'm going to put the prawns, the lobster, sorry. I'm going to put the lobster last. Let's check on our stock. So I'm just going to grab this, turn that heat off. Just take some of that liquor, that cooking juice, and pour some inside. Now, the thing with okra soup I found is, once you get your base right, you're a winner. You won the challenge. So the kwama I use is already soft, pretty much cooked. I'm going to go in with these nice ungolo. They are called ungolo snails, but they are like these little snails that you get off the coral reef. Not coral reef, I'm sorry. Just off like the rocks on the sea. I really love them. I'm gonna go with periwinkles. So now at this point, I'm not going to incoat. I'm actually going to turn it off. Just to relax. I'm going to get the okra. And I like my okra very crunchy and fresh. And I have a trick in getting my okra to cook really fast. I'll show you in a second. Or to chop up really fast. So I just want to add a bit more salt to this. I think I need more hero as well. So I've turned this off. I don't want the fish and prawns to cook while I'm going to chop up my okra. But let's check on our yam real quick. So this is looking, it's pretty much there. So I'm just going to turn that off. I'll just allow it sit in the hot water. It will do its thing. So I have about a cup, almost 2 cups of okra. This is about 150 grams of okra. So I'm just taking off the ends, the top, and that really tough, rooty bit. So I'm going to pour some water in a blender. So we're going to cover this and we're going to use the pulse function. I'm going to take this down to a lower power speed. So I'm using a high-speed blender. Now, ideally, food processor, perfectly ideal for this. But if you want to chop it by hand, that's up to you. So I'm just going to pause and pause and pause and pause and pause. And I have okra. And we're good to go. So I'm going to turn the heat back on here. I wanted a bit more iru in my recipe because I like the punch of iru. I think iru is the soul of like local cuisine. I'm cooking my seafood and my fish with sensibility. It's kind of raw still in the middle. So this is the best time for you to move things around. But this piece of fish is already starting to cook, so I have to be careful. I'm going to pop in our okra. I like my okra pretty bright green. And I want to move it around so that the fish, the okra, everything gets cooked all at the same time. At this point, we're going to add our lobster. It's not a lot. Lobster is not cheap. 1 pinch of salt. Maybe 1 more. And our okra is pretty much ready. The okra is thick, viscous. If you like your okra to be like a little brothy, you want to chop it by hand and not really work the seeds and the slime, so to speak. So here we are. Everything looking sweet and awesome. So I'm going to leave it on a low simmer. Let it just finally cook the fish, all the lobster, all the prawns, and we are good to go. So let's get to the pounded yam. Now for the pounded yam, we're going to get it out of the water into a mixer. So you can use a food processor, a whisk, or a very small mortar and pestle if you wish. But I find that this is one of the best ways to get it done. And you have to use, so I'm using a brand that has something called the K-Bitter on it. So you have to use whatever kind of mixer that has kind of something in the middle. Sometimes it's like a star, whatever design is there. You don't want to use I used to use the whisk. It just aerates the yam, doesn't beat it and pound it, okay? So the trick is to always start small, like you would if you're making this in a pestle and mortar. Start small. And I'm going to get it down and get it at the first speed to try and break it down. So checking on the okra, it's looking yummy, rich, and I'm going to turn it off and I'll have the residual. He just finished cooking everything because it feels ready. So the yam is looking good. I'm going to increase the speed now, and I'm going to be feeding the process of really small amounts per time. Get the speed higher again, but I really want the beater to start to stretch that gluten. So I have to show you guys this stage. At this stage, you can see it's kind of gone from, it's looking like really mashed yam now. This is what you want, and you want to keep going. Don't add any yam just yet. So I'm at speed 4. Okay. So it's kind of mashed a bit more. So I'm going to keep popping in more yam now. And we are going to lower that down and take it out. Just come again by the sides. It's so viscous and nice. So I'm sure you guys obviously are new to this trick, but just in case you're not. So I'm going to grab this off. Move this to the side. Wipe down. So this is me with a bigger spatula, just trying to grab everything out, and just to kind of make everything, just roll it out and nice. Put some of the water in there. Just give it a roll. Look at that one. It would be nice if I could cut it in coats with something. So I'm going to tip this into this bowl. Right, with some more of that cooking water. Just smoothing it all out. Like I said, this is more than enough for 2 people. You're able to feed 3. All right. So our pounded yam done. So this is my favorite part, when we get to actually plate it up and eat. So your Prada pounded yam, just take the one that you care for. I like this bowl. I picked it out because I actually had it about 12 years ago. Yes. So I'm going to serve it like amala and put a bit there. And I'm going to grab okra, get my giant prawn. I have some fish, I have some more. The thing I like about this dish is, no matter where you turn, goodness and mercy got you. You choke. And we are going to cover everything in that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fregz at home gang, I am going to taste this and realize that my mission on earth is to enjoy. So pounded yam, served Abdullah Owambe style, my Prada pounded yam, and the Lamborghini okra. I didn't really get the taste the first time. I'm still not getting the taste, so I will eat and finish it, then I can tell you people. It's delicious. This is the kind of food that you eat, yeah? And you ask the food, not only you waka come. Are you the first? Guys, this is a 10 out of 10 dish. And I'm not saying it because I cooked it, because I know what I'm doing. This is how to make you a better cook. Building flavors, understanding that food is within reach, and sometimes simple does it. And luxury is pounded yam and delicious locally caught seafood, all in a bowl, all with beautiful local ingredients. Fam, don't forget, this is Fregz at home, where life is good, where life is better with LG, because LG is very, very particular in ensuring that your life is better and run. Don't forget that this cooker that I've used today has a gas safety feature, so that if you turn on your gas and it goes off accidentally, it's gonna kill the switch so that your house doesn't end up in flames. It cooks really quickly, has so much space for you to cook all your food. The truth of the matter is, till next time, I would want you to kindly subscribe, and I'm just going to cower in that corner there while everybody does what they need to do. While you're subscribing, I'll be eating. And after you subscribe, after the subscribe is the making party, yeah. Yes, my career as a rapper will never take off, but subscribe. I love you all. Godspeed till I see you next time. This is Fregz at home. Ciao.